In this lesson, we are going to go over how to save models in AI Lab. On your assignment post in Schoology, you have two documents. You have the activity guide called Zoo Models, and then you have a resource that will help you by explaining the process of selecting a label. So for your warm-up journal, people often post information about themselves on social media, like their name and age, the school they go to, where they live, movies they like, restaurants they've been to, and their birthday. If all of this data was collected, what is one thing you think a machine learning model could try and predict from this data? Pause the video here so that you can answer this question in your journal. I think that a machine learning model could predict a movie or a restaurant recommendation for this person, but also for other people that live in this city, other people that go to this school, and other people that are the age of this person. They could also probably, a model could also probably predict how much money this person spends based on the restaurants that they've been to, where they go to school. It could maybe predict a birthday present this person might like to receive. There are a ton of answers to this question. But one thing that we should focus on is the choice about which features we should emphasize based on what we want to predict in the first place. Because if we want to predict one thing, we might focus on different features than if we want to predict something else. Even with the same set of data, you might make dramatically different choices about what a model could look like with this data. This is a common situation in machine learning. People have a data set that they've collected, and then they have to decide what they want to predict from the data. And there are a lot of decisions that go into training a model like this. In this lesson, we will see how you can use model cards to help keep track of all the decisions that go into training a machine learning model. Our question for the day is, how can I use model cards to document my decisions when training a machine learning model? So let's watch a short video.
Training a machine learning model requires a lot of decisions, like what data to use, what features to include, and whether those features are actually the best choice for the problem you're trying to solve in the first place. Once a model is trained, it's often very difficult to understand why a model is making certain decisions or predictions, especially if a human would have made a different decision with the same information. Sometimes machine learning models are called black boxes because of how difficult it can be to understand how a model makes decisions once it's trained. One way to avoid this is with model cards. Model cards provide transparency and can help us unpack how machine learning models are created. In AI Lab, any model that we want to save and use in App Lab must have a model card to go with it. The two are inseparable. Another way to think about model cards is how nutrition labels work on your food. They provide information about how the product was made, any warnings you should be aware of before using, and sometimes there are even examples of what you can use the product for. Let's take a look at how we can create model cards in AI Lab and then see how we can save a model to use it in App Lab. After you've trained your model and tested it for accuracy, you can continue to the next screen in AI Lab. This screen has you answer a few questions to create your model card. The two most important sections are the intended use and limitations and warning sections. These are places to provide additional context about your model, especially if you designed it for a very specific purpose. It's okay if your model should only be used in certain situations, just as long as you explain that in your model card. Once your model card is filled in, you can press the Save button. On the final screen, you can see the digital version of your model card. Once you reach this screen, your model is ready to be used in App Lab. Let's take a look. In App Lab, you can view all of your saved models by pressing the gear icon and selecting Manage AI Models. A list of all your saved models will appear where you can select one of them. The model card will appear on the right side, which can help you decide if this is the model you would like to import into your app. Even after the model has been imported, a model card is useful for updating different features in your app, such as replacing the default text that appears after your app has been imported. You can view the model card by returning to the gear menu and scrolling through the model card on the right side.
Let's go ahead and go to Code Studio, Lesson 9, Level 1, and you will also need your activity guide for this lesson. We have been hired by a zoo to create different apps for customers to use around the park. A user should be able to answer a few questions about the animal they see, and then the app will tell them something new about the animal. Complete the first 3 levels of Code Studio. You will train and save 3 models using the zoo dataset. You will also record information in each level on the activity guide. If we look at the activity guides, number 1, is it a predator? Train a machine learning model to help visitors identify whether or not the animal in the exhibit is a predator. Your model should be at least 70% accuracy. So you're going to pick features until you get at least 70% accuracy, but remember from a prior lesson that selecting every single feature does not make it more accurate. All right? And then this is the second part of level 1. And then level 2, what type of animal is it? What features are you going to choose to help the model predict the class of animal? All right. And then level 3, you get to choose the label and you get to choose the features. But you also have to fill out the intended use and the limitations and warnings. Pause the video here so you can do that. I am going to also pause so that I can work through this on my own without influencing you in any way. Well, it took me 5 tries to get a model with 3 features that is above 70%. Okay, now in order to try it out, we're going to think of an animal and then answer these questions about whether or not it is a predator. So I'm going to think of an eagle. Is it airborne? Yes. Is it aquatic? No. Is it venomous? No. Predict. Okay, so it's not correct because I was thinking of an eagle, so AI predicted it would not be a predator, but eagles most certainly are predators. In level 2 of lesson 9, we are going to predict the class. It literally tells you, do this, select the class column. Okay, it gives you the instructions. 7 values were found in this column. A graph is only shown when there are 5 or fewer. So you're not going to see a graph because we have mammal, fish, bird, crustacean, amphibian, bug. That might be it. All right, so, reptile. So we're going to select the class as the label and then choose. You have to train this, okay? You have to get at least 70% accuracy. All right, so let's see how you do. On level 3, you get to choose what you want to predict. The animal name is not an option. So why? Maybe because it's too specific. What about, well, I'm just going to let you decide what you want to predict. Think about if you're going around the zoo, you're trying to have a model that somebody can use to predict a specific quality, a specific feature about an animal that will, this model should enhance this person's zoo trip, okay? Level 4 on lesson 9 wants you to choose one of your models to import into Code Studio and begin designing your app. You may not have had time to create a fully designed app, but you will have time in the next lesson to work in App Lab. So go ahead and look at level 4, create an app. Why is a model card? And then you're going to complete this reflection. So pause the video here to work on level 4. You are choosing one of those models to import into App Lab. For your wrap up, you want to reflect, and you're reflecting on these on your activity guide. Okay, why is a model card useful when creating a model in AI Lab? How is a model card useful when creating an app in App Lab? And since you are answering those questions on your activity guide, I want you to put your question of the day response in your journal. Okay, so answer this question in your journal. How can I use model cards to document my decisions when training a machine learning model? At this point, I am going to create an app. I'm going to import one of my models, manage AI models. These are all of the ones that I made. Okay, so I am going to, what you can do right here, you can determine the class. It's 81% accurate. This one's 72%, 81%. Animal class prediction, 81. I don't know why I have these two. I think they're pretty much the same. All right, this milk producer predictor is the one that I made on level 3. This is the information. These are the features. It only has 3 features. So if I'm going to make an app, I have to have at least 3 drop downs for this one. So something that you might want to think about, the more features you use, the more you're going to have to design in App Lab. So this predator predictor, 72%, has got a lower accuracy, I'm going to go with the milk producer, and I'm going to import that. Okay. Don't forget to choose a theme. I don't really like that theme. All right, and then we have to choose. Still under design, we have to go to each of these labels and we have to put questions. Does the animal breathe? Feathers. Does it have feathers? How many legs does it have? All right. Then I'm going to go back. Where? Back to the code. All right. I am saying, let's see. If I run it and I hit predict. Okay, well, first off, I have to think of an animal first. So if I'm standing in front of the snakes at the zoo, does the animal breathe? Yes. Does it have feathers? No. How many legs does it have? None. It's a snake. Okay, is it a predator? Yes. Oh, wait, no. Wrong model. Okay, this is the milk producer. All right. Does the animal breathe? Think of an animal. Okay, this is the one that I was thinking of. Monkeys. Yes, it breathes. Does it have feathers? No. How many legs does it have? 2. It's a monkey. Does it make milk? Yes, it does. Okay, let's think about a lion. Does the animal breathe? Yes. Does it have feathers? No. How many legs does it have? 4. Oh no, it's not right. Okay, well, honestly, whenever I made this, I only tested it for a monkey. So there's that. All right, let's think about a cow. It breathes, yes. No, it's going to be literally the same thing. How many legs? 4. It's still saying no. Okay, so it's faulty. But click the gear, select the model you want, run your code, and verify that it works. So it does work. It's not accurate, but it works. Moving on to bubble 5. What does bubble 5 want us to do? We are going to customize our app at this point. Add a theme. Did that on the first one. Add a welcome screen. Okay. You have to go to design in order to add a welcome screen. So you click new screen. Remember, we already did this. Add images to make it more visually appealing. Change the text. So it's not just a one-word statement. We already did that. Make the prediction be on a separate screen that includes an image. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's say new screen. And we're going to call this prediction yes screen. All right, and then we're going to say new screen, and we're going to call it prediction no screen. All right, so what's going to happen is, let's go back to code. Or no, first let's put, we are on the prediction no screen. We're going to say, no, it doesn't produce milk. And I'm going to make that bigger. All right. This is not going to be aesthetically pleasing on my end because I'm trying to make this fast. which is a little difficult for me, I'm not gonna lie, because I like for things to look good. Okay, I'm gonna search for an icon, and I'm looking for something that means no. Not seeing literally anything. So I'm just gonna say no. Maybe I can say like no milk. No. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna look for like a milk carton. Choose. Icon. Milk. Boo. Drink? No. All right. Link to an image. So I'll show you how to do this. We're gonna search milk carton in the Google. Searching for milk carton in the Google. All right. I'm going to click images. All right. Going to select this one. Now, we're going to save image as. All right. The next thing we're going to do is go to this website called remove.bg. What remove.bg does is it removes the background from an image, because I don't want to put this picture of a milk carton with a white rectangle around it. I don't want to put that on my app because that's going to look like garbage. Okay. I don't want garbage. All right. So now all I have to do, drag and drop, and it is going to analyze the picture, and then it's going to remove the background. And you can tell that it's removed because now it's this checkered background that represents a transparent background. I'm going to download this now. And then I'm going to go back to code.org, and instead of link to image, I'm going to upload it. And this is what it should look like. Nothing here. Okay, this is the original. White rectangle, transparent background. So that's the one I'm going to select. And then I'm going to click choose. Oh, look how cute. Okay, now I'm going to, wait. I'm going to make that bigger, and I'm going to put it in the center. And what I need to do is I need to bring it to the front. How to do that? Not totally sure on here, other than there's got to be an option. Properties, position, nope. Fit image, nope. Border, oh, here. Depth. Okay, so I want this X to be on top. And now it is. Okay, perfect. Now what I want to do, I actually want to duplicate this screen. So I know we made our screen. We already made our yes screen. Prediction yes screen. I'm going to go there, and I'm actually going to delete it, because now I have one screen already done, and all I want to do is make changes. And so I'm just going to duplicate it. Duplicated screen is now screen 4. So I need to select screen 4. Make sure you don't have anything else selected. So ID is screen 4, and we're going to say what did we say? Prediction yes screen. Okay. We're going to change these words to say Yes, yes, it produces milk. And then I'm going to delete this top image. You have to actually click delete. And there we go. So now we need to go to the code. And we are saying, get the prediction. Okay. Let's run it and see what happens real quick. Predict, no. So it's going to get the prediction. It's going to set the text. So let's hit reset. Instead of set text. Okay. Let's say set. We're going to say, and I'm going to look at some of these. Control. So this is the one that we're going with, okay? What this looks like. We're going to say if value equals no. And then we need to open curly brace. And we're going to say set screen. Set screen. Prediction no screen. Add a semicolon at the end. And then we're going to say else, open curly brace, set screen, prediction yes screen, semicolon, there. All right, so let's test this out because there's a really good chance something is wrong. Unnecessary semicolon. All right, I'll just delete it. Okay, we don't have any icons over here. Run it. Okay. No, it doesn't produce milk. All right, let's change it and find one that does produce milk, okay? And let's see if it goes to that other page. So 2 legs, remember our monkey, it does work. Yes, it produces milk. Okay, so that works. Now, customizing, I would want a back button. So in order to have that, I would need to go to the no screen and I need to click design. And I would put back. Back, button, back. And then what I would do, insert and show code for the click. All right, when back button, click, set screen to screen 1, semicolon. Now what I want to do, back on the design part, I want to duplicate this button for my other page. Copy to screen, and I want to put it, I want to copy it to my prediction yes screen. Okay, so now it's there, but it's called button 2, and so I'm going to change it to back button 2. Select events, say insert and show, and I'm going to say, I'm actually going to just copy what I put up here. Copy, Velcro. Run it. Okay, predict. It should take me to no. And then I'm going to hit back. And I want to predict again. 2 legs for our monkey. Predict. Yes. All right, and so we're good. But you also need to have made a welcome screen that has a button that tells you to go.